best race in Nino's life. You don't want to miss this one. Watch the video coming up. Something a little different. This is episode 1 of the Road to Nationals. It's going to be Nino's attempt at becoming the cyclocross national champion for USA Cycling in the second week of December in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Check out our series that's going to be almost every single week, minus Thanksgiving, as we lead up to the national championship. Follow along, subscribe, and give Nino a like, leave a comment, and we hope to see you out at one of the cross races this fall into winter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Is it because it's so light? That's good.
You ready?
Yep.
Go, David.
Race is ready on the whistle.
We go with cyclocross season. Had a little warm-up race in Roanoke for Go Cross, but now it's time. Like I said, this is going to be a series that takes us to the second week of December, but here we are at the North Carolina Cyclocross Series. Day 1, Gibsonville, North Carolina, just outside of Greensboro. And day 2 took us to Dorothy Dix Park in Raleigh on the beautiful campus of North Carolina State University. It was a awesome stacked weekend doubleheader, and you see Nino here lined up on the start grid, and we put him in the 11 and 12-year-olds in preparation for his journey to become cyclocross national champion in Fayetteville, Arkansas in the second week of December. So on the start line, it's a bunch of awesome kids that Nino knows quite well, and has got to race several of them through the years. And then one that he's been in races with but never raced against, and that's going to be very fast Mr. Sam Edwards that races for Velocious Sport, Team Winston-Salem. And super talented kid, top 20 last year as a junior rider in the 11-12 division, and definitely one of the fastest kids in America. And get ready for an amazing race between Nino and Sam. It is the absolute best race Nino has ever had, regardless of the discipline. You do not want to miss this. It's not a full race. I edited out some of it just for time purposes, but wherever there was any action or there was moves attempting to be made, it is included. And let me tell you, this thing was a nail biter all the way down to the finish line. But the little 8-year-old did not disappoint. He might have been a tad disappointed, but he did not disappoint. What a race. Make sure you watch. And while you're watching, look, take your finger, hit the like button, subscribe to Nino's Adventures, and please do us a favor and share this video. Get his little channel out. It's awesome. It motivates other people. You cannot even imagine the number of people that come up to Nino or to me talking about how much these videos help them in preparation for their own journey, whether they're adults or kids. And some of the parents that come up to us say, I just can't believe how talented your kid is, and it's motivated my kid to get out there. And we just see the positive effects of this. And the only way that we can get these videos out is if you share it. It's the algorithm that YouTube has come up with. It's crazy as can be, but watching, liking, and sharing is what gets them out there. And once they go viral, it's just no end in sight. And that's the goal here, is to make a positive impact on many. So do us a favor and share while I narrate some of this video for day 1 in Gibsonville. Day 2, we had a little bit of a malfunction with the camera with a full SD card. My bad, Nino, sorry. So we got a couple pictures and a little summary there, but day 1 was enough action, and what a way to start North Carolina Cyclocross Series. Cross is back. Hey, follow along. I'll narrate for you as we go. All right, so you see, going in about the first half of lap 1, Sam's in the red kit, And super fast, great start from Sam, hitting all the lines perfect. Nino was able to close the gap. But this is where Nino has struggled, and you've heard in some of the other videos I've done, the barriers for the little 8-year-old that's only 54 inches tall is extraordinarily challenging. It's just nothing we can do about that. There's just nothing we can do about it. There's nothing else to say. Sam ate him up on the barriers. He would catch up to him, and you'll see through the entire day of this race, wherever we're at the barriers, Sam would either close the gap or put a gap, and just kudos to Nino for being able to do the best he could to either lessen the damage that the barriers was doing to him. He did get better with the barriers, I will say. It's like he knew that was his weakness, and he manipulated his body and bike to be able to go as fast as he could. But there's just nothing he can do when he's racing a kid that's 3 or 4 years older than he is when it comes to the speed of handling the barriers. But no excuses. Little man's got legs of steel and lungs like I've never seen, and the determination that is absolutely never seen in a kid this old. I'm sure there's another kid in the world like it, but if you know him, hey, tag him into this video. I want to meet the kid that is determined as Nino O'Connell is. And I'm sure Nino would like to meet him as well, regardless of what sport or what thing he's into. We want to hear about it. But leave us a comment. But regardless, you'll see it on his face throughout this entire race. Determination that can only be seen at special forces or some crazy profession that just absolutely the most determined people in the world do. And that's just what's so special about Nino. Not to brag on my son, but hey, if I was just a professional announcer like I am, talking about a kid that I see on a race course, I would say the exact same thing. It's absolutely, words cannot describe the level of determination. So watch this as he fights back after these barriers, catches back up to Sam, and here in just a little bit you're going to see Sam has a little mishap, and it's probably a little bit because of the pressure. Nino's coming back from being a little bit of a deficit, catches back up on the hills, which that happens whenever there's a hill with Nino, and Sam's probably like, wow, what's going on? I can't speak for him, but I'm just thinking what I would be thinking if he was behind me, and has a little bit of a mishap, and then Nino makes a pass. But the inexperience from Nino and just not having everything dialed in, you'll see Nino makes a little mistake as well, and there the gap gets closed, and here the battle begins yet again. You can see there, gap's been closed. Call it 1-1. Sam made a mistake, Nino made a mistake. Now they're pretty much back together. And Nino starts into lap 2, and it's got just a little bit of a lead. Absolutely nothing to be comfortable with. He's pushing hard. Sam's pushing hard to make sure he's staying with Nino. And this is what it's all about. That's what's so cool about cross, regardless of your category, regardless of your level of experience. You line up on a cross race, especially in the North Carolina Cyclocross season, or some of the races up in the Northeast, out in Colorado. The fields are big enough and the talent is substantial enough that you will have somebody to race. Whether you're racing to be keep from being last, or you're racing to try to be first. Every position in between, if you find yourself by yourself, something has gone wrong that day. And that's what's so great about this series here, is Nino is racing the entire time. and he's pushing himself to levels that we've just never seen for this this type of racing. Last year, he was 7 and he raced in the 10 and under, and he had a couple good races for sure, but a lot of times he just had such a lead, he just didn't really get much out of it. But starting off with this year, I mean, it's full gas from the beginning, and that's what we're looking for. In order for Nino to have a chance at the 10 and under, being his age, national championship in Fayetteville, he has got to get pushed every single race. He doesn't need to win. He doesn't even need to podium in 11 and 12. He just needs to be pushed. And then when he goes down to kids his own age, he has a chance. And so that's what we're going for. And some people come up and ask, hey, why do you put him up in the... Oh, it's not my choice. He chooses it. He wants to race the big kids. If he had it his way, he'd be racing with the 18-year-olds. But there's a point where we have to kind of hold the horse back and say, hey man, just let's go up one level and get some work in. But kudos to Nino for not being scared of anybody. And he's not afraid to lose. A lot of kids cannot stand to lose. Nino is used to losing. Actually, one of the parents and I talked about that this weekend. And when I told the individual that Nino was used to losing, he kind of looked at me strange because he didn't think that was the case. But it's actually quite rare for Nino to win because he's always racing kids that are 3 or 4 years older than him. But that is what makes him better. His day will come. Trust me. If he sticks with it, with his determination, talent, God-given talent, and just, the ability to work harder than anybody else around him, his day will come. You and I both know that. But right now, it's a matter of getting the best bang for the buck. And Racing Sam is where it is at. And I can't wait for these two to keep battling each other. I know Sam probably, is quite shocked that a little kid can be that fast, but it's pushing him too. It's making him a better rider as well, because I could see the look on his face. He was giving it all he could to make sure that he was staying with Nino or staying away from Nino through the entire race. So I know it's doing Sam some good too, and I've already seen him registered for the national championship as well. So good luck to Sam and Team Winston-Salem as they have a arsenal full of top riders that are trying to win nationals, and I hope Sam can take it in the 11 to 12-year-old division. Keep watching. So this course in Gibsonville was just super awesome, about 1.5 miles, give or take, and just had a little bit of everything. Nothing super substantial with hills, but had some pretty good off-camber, right to left, left to right turns that, man, if it was wet, it would be gnarly. But the weather kind of held off. There was a nor'easter out on the coast, but it did not make it that far inland Saturday. But on Sunday, different story. Rain came in, and by the time it was time for Bethany and I to race, it was a soupy mud fest, which I absolutely love. I'm like a pig in slop for crossing the mud. Well, I know a lot of people like it to be dry, but be honest with you, dry is boring, and I'm at a total disadvantage when it's dry. And Nino, kind of feel like he falls into my category. He really likes to play in the mud. So, but Saturday, you can see here that this course is just super awesome. What a nice park. Northeast Park in Gibsonville, North Carolina. Highly recommend. Disc golf, cool playground. Nino got to play with pickleball courts, one massive swimming pool, and of course, wrong season for that. And this awesome cross course, mountain bike trails. Even got to see some people horseback riding. So it was a pretty special day. But looking forward already to this event next year. I like Gibsonville. I hope NCCX keeps this as number one race. It was last year and was again this year, and hopefully it will be next year as well. But see the two, Sam and Nino, battling out. They had a pretty substantial gap on the other riders, and so this race was up for grabs between one of these two, barring any type of bad incident or mechanical, and we don't wish that on anybody ever. Don't want to win because of that. But you can see here just everything is going on tactically and physically demanding as well. There's a mental battle taking place here. and neither one of them is coming on top. Just as soon as one of them got in front of the other one would catch back up and pass the other one, and that's just what made this race so special. So continue watching along, and we're getting close to the last lap here in just a minute. You could hear the bell lap. 1 lap to go. Sam and Nino got about 1.5 miles to figure this out. You can see just a little bit back, Nino got passed by Sam in the straightaway. Nino put in some digs there, got back in front, and comes through the start-finish line in the lead. He, even at his young age, one of the things in preparation for this race we were talking about the strategies and when to figure out and how to figure out what he needed to do and where he needed to do it. And you know, you get a little bit of coaching for the second or two that he goes by, but you know how it is when you're in the red, you don't hear most of what somebody's saying anyways. So the fact that he was figuring this out on the fly is pretty amazing. The amount of experience that he's gaining at such a young age. I just feel bad for all the people in a few years when this kid grows just a few more inches, gets a little bit more muscle. Is not going to be anybody that's going to be able to stay with him, including myself. But you can see the tactics taking place here, and it's truly a battle for position and trying to put yourself in the right spot for the last attack or two, and that continues on through this last lap. But keep posted here while we're watching some of this last action. Let me tell you a little bit about the Raleigh race, because you know, you'll just see a few pictures. Like I said, I messed up with the camera. It's a full SD card, so we didn't capture hardly anything. But it was a mud fest. Nino woke up. He had some sore legs from this hard effort, his hardest effort he'd ever done, racing Sam on Saturday. And his buddy Sebastian Ackley came. He had a good fresh set of legs and was on a mountain bike, which honestly at the particular event with the mud was probably the bike to have. And no excuses. Glad Sebastian had a great time and came out and did some cross, but Sebastian was able to break away and beat Sam in a sprint finish at the end. And I truly believe Sam probably would have had a whole lot more for him had he not had some dead legs as well from the battle with Nino on Saturday. But that's the way cross is. It's a long season, and the only way to have a chance at Nationals and the only way to have a chance for the series championship is to be in the thick of it every single week. You can't just do a race here or there. So kudos to Sam and Nino, hammering it out on both days. Nino ended up taking third. Like I said, it started to rain. Actually, it rained all night long and then stopped raining about 4 a.m. Had some high winds, kind of dried it out a little bit. And then about the time Nino started the race, it started raining again. So it turned into a muddy soup. But Nino was able to come in third place. It went Sebastian, Sam, then Nino. And it was a great race. He did very well. Had some mishaps, and absolutely no fault of his own, just the way cross is. They copped some of the older kids in the 15-18 year division, and Nino ended up getting behind about 3 of them in one of the technical spots, and those kids were walking, Nino was riding, and they held him up for about a good 10 seconds. And Sam and Sebastian got away, and Nino just could not close the gap between having fatigue and not having somebody to set a pace for him. He kind of was in that no man's land and kind of just faded off to a pretty comfortable third place. But absolutely not disappointed to be 8 years old and 11-12 and come in third. Right where he needs to be, and still battling out for the series. And I know he's looking forward to the next week, and that's going to take us to NCCX number 3 in the beautiful Boone, North Carolina. Come check it out with us. If you're somewhere around the Mid-Atlantic Southeast, you do not want to miss the Boontown Throwdown. So we will see you there Sunday morning for Nino's race at 10:45. Watch this last lap. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Or they're down to the last 3/4 half mile or so, and you can see Nino is not in the best position. He's a little bit behind Sam, and I really wish that he'd have been in front, but that's just the way it works. And so they're working their way through some of the more technical uphill sections, and Nino's not losing any time, but you know, I would rather have had been in front, but just stuff happens. And so here's Nino fighting back, and you're going to see it come down here just a few seconds from now. They're going to battle out side by side, and they start pushing hard each other, working their way to the finish line, and then some gnarly action takes place right just before the finish line. So watch along. You don't want to miss it. All right, here it goes. So Sam is in front in the red kit. You see him coming through, and Nino's pushing him hard right on his wheel. Like I said, I would rather have been in front, but you got to play the cards you're dealt. So he's behind, and they get around the turn right there at the pond, start heading back to the finish line. Maybe a 1/10 of a mile or so to go. And when Nino makes his turn, he starts looking for a hole, and he sees it on the left side. When he sees that hole, he starts to punch it. Watch what happens. Down to the wire. Sprint finish, but the little guy comes up just a tad bit short. You know, rubbin's racing, as they say. You've heard it ever since you were a little kid. You'll hear it till the day they put you in the grave. And Nino was going left. Sam saw it coming. Maybe Sam came over a little bit, but rubbin's racing. He was trying to maintain the position. And Nino tried to push back a little bit to make sure that he didn't wreck, but that probably slowed him up a little bit with the tire rub. It hit the pavement and just had a little bit too much momentum loss from the contact to be able to give Sam a run for his money. But hey, it was an amazing race. What a finish. It was like that the entire race from start to finish, and both of them I know had one heck of a workout.
You can't lean.
And his Bethany and I got to go up to Nino afterwards, and we had never seen him look the way he looked. He was gassed. He gave everything that he had, especially the last 30 seconds. And he was, you know, he's disappointed that he didn't win, but you know, he wasn't a sore loser. He just was like, man, I wish I would have won, because he tried so hard. But that's the way it works, and the only way to ever become a champion is to take a few under the chin like this and to learn the tactics and the strategies to not have it happen in the future when it counts the most. And so hopefully the good thing that came out of this is some lessons learned in the future. We'll see. Sometimes we think Nino learns a lesson and he'll do the opposite. But I think this time He got a lot of experience from this, and I think it's going to pay him dividends as we continue towards Fayetteville, Arkansas. That being said, thanks a bunch for watching the video, and follow along. Again, subscribe, please, because when we get done with next weekend, it'll be episode 2 for the Road to Nationals, where Nino O'Connell tries to become the 10 and under cyclocross national champion. Thanks for watching, and as usual, we'll see you next time. Boontown Throwdown. Till then, stay safe. God bless, and we'll see you on the trails.